Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, puppets of all ages, welcome to the greatest show you're currently watching, Required Reading, here on Centerville Local 42. I'm Jim, and today I'll be reading Chapter 2 of Ghostbusters 2. Let's get started. While Dana was struggling with Oscar and the very strange behavior of his baby carriage, some of her old friends, the Ghostbusters, were having their struggles too. Ray Stantz and Winston Zedmore had just entered an expensive brownstone on New York City's west side. Miss Galt, the woman who led them through the house, had a worried expression on her face. "How many of them are there, ma'am?" Stantz asked politely.
14, she said. "They're in the back. I hope you can handle them. It's been like a nightmare."
Ray and Winston adjusted their proton packs. They were ready for the worst. And they got it. Then Mrs. Galt opened the playroom door. There Ray and Winston saw 14 7-year-olds celebrating Sam Galt's birthday.
"Oh, the Ghostbusters, boo!" yelled one of the kids. "We wanted He-Man," another said.
One of the little boys tossed a glob of ice cream into the air.
"Oh, the floor's been slimed, Miss Galt," he whined. "And they didn't do anything about it."
He pointed at Ray and Winston. "Time for the theme song," Ray hissed to Winston. Winston pushed the play button on his proton pack. The familiar theme music of the Ghostbusters began wailing, and when the song asked who they would call, the kids all yelled, "He-Man!" Ray and Winston looked at one another. Kids at birthday parties could be really obnoxious. Ray and Winston would have preferred tangling with a full torso apparition. Across town, Peter Venkman was having his own troubles. Since the Ghostbusters had been put out of business, he'd become a television talk show host. His show was called World of the Psychic with Peter Venkman. Most of the time, Venkman thought he was probably dealing with crazy people instead of ghosts. He would have preferred a full torso apparition to what confronted him now.
"No, that's right,"
his guest Sarah said, leaning forward to reach the microphone.
"The spacecraft actually landed on top of my head. It was about the size of a dinner plate."
"I see," Venkman said.
"But it weighed more. In fact, a lot of things are heavy. Did I tell you about the overweight carrot that was working at the garage in my neighborhood? He absolutely refused to check my oil."
She huffed in anger. "And I think your oil needs checking," Venkman said sincerely. His next guest was a man who said he had absolute proof that the world would end at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve. Well, that was just a few weeks away, and Venkman didn't like the idea. Neither did his audience, and they booed the man. The show couldn't have been over soon enough to suit Venkman. "Where do you find these people, Norman?" Venkman asked his producer when they were in the hallway after the show. "I thought we were having the guy who bends spoons with telekinetic power."
A lot of the better psychics won't come on the show," Norman said. "They think you don't believe them."
"I'll tell you what I don't believe," Venkman said. "I don't believe overweight carrots. Spoon bending can be total reality compared to overweight carrots." Just then, there was a commotion down the hall outside the studio, outside another studio at the television station. The mayor of the city had just given an interview. "Hey, there's Lenny! Yo, Lenny! Mr. Mayor!" Venkman yelled, chasing the mayor down the hallway. "We're old friends," he explained to Norman. The mayor's bodyguard stepped in Venkman's way. One of the mayor's aides smiled at Venkman, but he didn't look like he meant the smile at all.
"I'm Jack Hardmeyer, the mayor's assistant," the smiling man said. "What can I do for you?"
"I just wanted to say hello to His Honor," Venkman said. "We're old friends."
"I know who you are, Dr. Venkman. Busting any ghosts lately?" he asked snidely.
"No," Venkman said. "That's what I want to talk to Lenny about. It wasn't really fair the way the city yanked our licenses after the last job we did. I thought Lenny ought to know."
"I think Lenny knows everything he needs to know about Ghostbusters," Hardmeyer said.
He nodded at the bodyguard who released Venkman. The bodyguard and Hottemeyer then hurried down the hallway, following after the mayor, who was safely out of Venkman's reach. Venkman tried to smooth his shirt while the bodyguard had been holding it. "Tell Lenny that because of you, I won't vote for him," he yelled at Hottemeyer. The only answer he got was the slam of an elevator door. He longed for the days when the Ghostbusters were kings, saving the city from the ghosts that had invaded it. He'd show them. One day he'd show the whole world again. Alright, guys. Well, that's Chapter 2 of Ghostbusters 2. I told you it was going to get a little better. Alright, we're getting there. You know. Yeah, although I'm a little confused how you slam an elevator door. I'd rather read this and deal with a full torso apparition, though. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.